Hey guys, welcome back to the Gramophone channel. As you know, my name's Luke. We've been talking about the Michi stuff quite a bit. We talked about the X5 integrated amp. We talked about the P5 preamplifier. And now we're going to talk about the S5 power amp. Speaking of Michi and all the other videos that we've done, click right here if you haven't seen the previous videos yet, because I actually recommend that you start with those. Now then, for the S5 amp, this piece is quite an achievement. And I mean that for many reasons. It is in price to performance. It is in just the absolute gobs of power that it's capable of delivering and the cleanliness with which it does so, particularly when paired up with its matching P5 preamp. Before I get into what I most enjoy about the S5, don't forget to subscribe to the Gramophone channel and click that bell notification icon. Here's your question of the day. What's the most powerful amp you've ever owned? For me, it was a Class A CA5300. First thing to note about this, other than the sweet look and the fact that it's got this cool display on the front that shows you the relative levels of all the different frequencies in your music, is that this thing makes boatloads, gallons, vast oceanic depths of power. 500 watts into 8 ohms, 800 watts into 4 ohms. That is more than enough power for almost any speaker on planet Earth. Some would argue that maybe you could go for even more headroom. Fine. But at that point, I almost don't even care anymore because I'm not going to find anything that I can put in my house that's ever going to need more than that and not be effortlessly served by that level of power, especially out of a Class AB amp. This ain't Class D, friends. This is good old-fashioned AB, as it should be. Generally, you have to spend astronomically more money to see numbers like this in a Class AB amp, and not to mention numbers like this in a Class AB amp that actually sounds really good, like it's actually worth it. But it's like got this AB character to it, but with that still touch of warmth, ever so tiny bit slightly. I mean little here, but it mostly leans to almost complete neutrality. It's not quite a studio monitor, but it's close. In the sense that if you want an amp that just gets out of the way, much like the companion preamp, the P5 does, and just delivers the music as is with no editorializing, then this is going to be your amp. And that's why I really like it, because that's kind of my taste. I really like things that just sound deadpan accurate. I do. And if that sounds like you, this is a $7,500 amp. And you're not going to find anywhere close to that price. Not a thing that can do what it can for it. And together with the matching P5, heck, it's harder to do much better at all without spending astronomically more money. And for a lot of people, this will be their end game stop for very good reason. So if you want to pick up an S5 stereo amp and maybe a P5 to go with it, swing by Gramophone, any of our showrooms, Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg. We have Michi stuff on display everywhere. It all sounds awesome. We'll pair it up with whatever speakers you want to hear, and you get to test drive it before you take it home. Don't forget about our beautiful Kitchen Design Center in Hunt Valley, Maryland, because they can help you design a wonderful listening room to put a grade product like this into. And I did mention earlier that the P5 is the perfect pairing because, duh, Michi. So click the link down below and you can check out the video for the P5 too. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you felt like you learned something or you at least had fun. If either of those things are true, hit that like button. Don't forget to ask me any additional questions you might have down below. I love talking to you guys about audio. It's fun. And don't forget that question of the day either. And of course, be seeing you.